If she falls off the boat now, in this wind, there is no way for me to retrieve her from the 4-meter waves, from the mountainous sea, with him inside the boat with our little life ring on the side. She's climbing into the anchor hatch, trying to untangle the chain. It was under such tension, I have no idea how she succeeded, but she did. The tiny rope holding the last of the chain snapped and the anchor was lost forever. Okay, at least it was my mum. Moving on. So here's a tip. If your stepdad tells your mum to do an impossible task in the middle of the sea, in the middle of the storm, maybe tell her not to. It'll definitely be worth the attention. So as if losing my mum in the storm wasn't traumatic enough, we went through all the parts of the boat that the anchor could have damaged. Of course, we couldn't see the propellers, but we could assume that if some damage was done, we could see at least some change in the way the motors worked. We turned one off, then the other to hear any difference, but what we heard made us do a double take. I ran to my room and opened the 4 hatches, and I was faced with a whole new problem. There was water in them, and not like an inch. I was at the front of the boat, and these hatches connected to each other, which could only mean one thing. The water was flooding the boat. Dr. House looked up and said in his nasty voice, "How much water?" In a second, my mum was beside me and said, 10 inches. Wait. Be very sure. How much? We looked through all the hatches in the boat and we were faced with blended fruits and broken bottles. Well, if we're going to drown, at least it'll be in sangria. I dare say things are getting worse. The water is only rising and we don't know what to do. There was water dripping down the walls. Where is it coming from? The cupboards in my room were soaked. Soon it will reach the engines, and then what do we do? If we have to abandon ship, how do we carry Dr. House to the raft? So at this point, hardly moving, miles from shore, Dr. House decides to use channel 16 to call the Coast Guard. Mayday, mayday, this is Sailboat Destiny, do you read me? Over. And my mum, on the other hand, was firing the flare gun. After a couple of minutes, the Italian border control finally replied. Sailboat Destiny, this is Port Control Sardinia, what is your emergency? So then Dr. House described our emergency and this is what they had to reply. So we cannot help you at this time because there is some other boat that is sinking. So if we are not under the sea level, we cannot help you, sorry. Alright, I guess if we're not yet under the sea level, then I guess we'll just turn on the bilge pump. So we turned that on and then my mum and I just sat in my room looking at the hatches thinking if this is our last day on Earth, and also just watching the food being sloshed about. But the water kept rising and we were just like, we don't know what to do, let's turn this off. Yeah, okay. It had reached an alarming level and we decided that 30 minutes of that is enough. And it soon dawned upon us that pretty much the only thing we can do is get the water out manually, bucket by bucket. So Dr. House stuck in his chair while my mum went to the front room where most of the water was collected with the biggest bucket, filled it up and then carried it up 2 flights of stairs and then threw it overboard 40 times. 40 buckets later, she got the most of the water out, but Dr. House was making ever more frantic calls to the shore, trying to contact someone to guide us into the very dangerous parts of the marina. How did we know? We could see on the map these red flags that I don't know what they mean because it's been too many years now, but definitely don't mean anything good. We just didn't have a very accurate map, and in the storm, we could use some help. Finally, at 10 p.m, with the wind still wailing, we parked in front of the marina, praying it wouldn't throw us to the rocks. And just when I thought we could go to bed, nope! Enter Dr. House. He's like, hey yo, we have got to see if the water is still collecting in the bilge. Okay? And of course, it's collecting in the bilge. Okay. Okay, so now we have to fix the bilge pump. Bring me the tools. But it's midnight. Yeah, we gotta make sure we don't sink. Well, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
2 hours later.
So it turns out quite a crucial design flaw. When they were building the boat that Dr. House designed, they actually put the bilge pump in wrong. And it was pumping in instead of pumping out. So we were in fact just stuck in the middle of the ocean pumping water into our own boat. Now I guess you're all wondering about my mum's rollerblades. Yeah, no, they were lost forever. No, she didn't get new ones, legit traumatized. And actually I showed her the script for this video and the only comment she had was, "You've got to tell them about the rollerblades, how they went shh and shh." And so here is the video from before, but those little bits there, yeah, those are rollerblades. This was a time that half of my things went to shit because my entire room got soaked in salt water, and the next day I had to dry the books out on a string. The library books. The librarian not so pleased. What can you do? But I'm happy to say that I still have this logbook filled out by my mum and another book filled out by me. So let me know down in the comments if you would like to hear some of those stories. And please make sure to share this video if you've enjoyed it. It would really help me out. And of course, make sure to subscribe. Not that traumatic today. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh my god, this was long.